I'm Shane Nyland, and my co host is Blake Musser. And these stories you're about to hear are from Weapons Company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, 1st Marine Division, about the events surrounding and directly from the mouths of the people who were in Ramadi 2004. Part 2 with Justin Weaver of Rainmaker Platoon.
Well, and that's I see. I especially around here, like there aren't many other veterans or anything around here and stuff. So like I don't know how like anybody to talk to about it and stuff. And anybody that I would talk to about it would be like, man, you're lying about like that didn't happen. There's no way that's real and stuff. And like so I didn't talk to anybody about it or anything like that. So I was starting to think, man, maybe I am making that. Like maybe I am imagining that.
You're in good company,
Like,
man.
did that happen in a movie? Like did they like?
No, Nyland. The only person that I've ever really talked to about it is really Nyland. Up until doing this,
yeah.
And I think a lot of the guys are the same way because just like you said, I mean, like if somebody was. It's hard to talk to somebody that was like, you can't talk to a civilian about it. That's for goddamn sure.
Right.
And then even somebody that's was in the military, even then is kind of shaky. And then anything.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I said because just because like most of the people that were even in the military didn't see what we saw. Like
not in 04, that's for sure.
So and that's what I said. So I mean, it was I went down I got lost in the woods there for a while because I didn't have it. I didn't know. I didn't have.
Getting your feet underneath you afterwards was a little bit more of a
process. Yeah. No, I said it was. I didn't know like how to go about getting my PTSD taken care of or anything like that. Like in my mind, I didn't have PTSD or anything like that. I was drinking semi-professionally and all that stuff, and that was normal for me. I didn't realize anything, and it took me a while to realize that maybe I needed to get some help there and get my life under control because I in my head, like I mean, I didn't I wasn't going to get PTSD or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, a lot changed once I sought help.
Well, I'm glad that you got help, man.
I think a lot of it, like the military breeds that whole mindset of reaching out for it is a sign of weakness, and like you shouldn't need help, or we're tough and all that. Like, but I said it shouldn't be an issue to like. If we're supposed to be able to count on each other for our lives. We should be able to listen to each other when we have a problem.
Very much so. And I think you kind of hit on a perfect point that in the Marine Corps, drinking is just part of the culture, right? Like at least it was when we were in. I know nowadays less guys drink, but boy, that was just it. Like what'd you do on the weekends? What'd you do when you got off work? First thing was, you crack a beer.
Drinking near alcohol poisoning like every weekend. And that's what I said. It's encouraged and stuff. Like if you said you didn't drink, like people are looking at you like, what? Is something wrong with you, or you have a medical condition or something?
Right.
And it was, and it's and like I said, and if you try to seek help or like you tried to turn to somebody like, hey man, I need somebody to talk to, like you weren't going to do that because you were going to get pussy and fucking you're fucking pussy and you were going to get ripped into and shit. And don't get me wrong, I fully believe that like hazing and shit, it should be in the military. That's something that should happen. Don't not to like a certain extent, but if you can't take somebody picking on you and shit, like war is was gonna eat you alive. So I can understand to an extent, but I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll make it an easy transition. Back to Ramadi a little bit. You remember kind of hooch life? Remember any of the fun moments?
Yeah. So I remember when we first, not too long after we got there, we got a sandstorm and like the roofs blew off of
Yeah, your guys is dead. Yeah, yours. You guys lost the
Well,
corner of your.
I remember first when we got to when we got on the hurricane plane, I'm like, shit, we're gonna live in the palace. Little did I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once we got those metal roofs on, it wasn't so bad. But I remember having that sandstorm and coming back from, because I think we were supposed to go on like a patrol or something like that, and we didn't make it probably 100 feet out the gate before Lieutenant Dahl was like, "Yeah, we can't. We're going back. Like, go back." And by the time we got back into the gate, our roof had blown halfway to Junction City. I would say I think it was Fuentes' stuff was like everywhere. It blew everywhere.
And I know you guys were taking sand out of your shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. And I said, like, it seemed like all this the roof blew off, and all the sand that was outside just suddenly blew into our hooch.
So how did you pass your time in the hooch? Did you watch movies, play cards? Were you a smoker at the time?
Yeah. So I picked up smoking over there. Yeah. Because I had nothing else to do. Might as well smoke a cigarette. And everybody I talked to hung out in the smoke pit. So I just started smoking. I have a picture where like our entire platoon is sitting in front of on the palace there, and everybody's smoking a cigarette.
Mhm.
But I know, like I said, I had a little DVD player, and we would buy movies off the Haji shop down there,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
for some reason, like he would bring in some bootleg movies and shit, but like the only series he had were The Shield and Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls. So that was your choice. You had every season of The Shield or Gilmore Girls. And I said that was so bad. When I'll tell people stories. I'll be like, yeah, a whole platoon of Marines all gathered around this tiny DVD player in the front, watching Gilmore Girls, like the whole season of Gilmore Girls. Yeah, it's didn't have nothing else to do. We watched The Shield how many times, and I still have all my DVDs from the Haji shop, all the bootleg movies and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody with a video camera. There's somebody walking through the movie halfway through and shit.
Right.
But and then I want to say somehow I got a laptop like halfway through the deployment. I cannot remember how I got it.
Well, there
I
was a
want to
couple
say
of
like
pretty nice PXs of a couple of the bases that we went to.
I want to say
bigger
this. I
ones,
was gonna say I think we went to a base somewhere, and I got it at a PX.
Yeah.
TQ.
Because it had the Haji plug.
Yeah. TQ had like a full electronic shop. They sold PlayStations, Xbox, TVs.
That's probably where I got it then. I was saying because I remember I was thinking about getting the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation, and I was like, well, man, I could do so much more with a computer than a PlayStation. So
Yeah.
I still don't regret it. Yeah. So I didn't even remember that, but and I wish I would have kept that laptop because then when I came back, I sold it to one of the booths for like $30. But yeah, it had the Haji plug, but it had all my pictures on it. I didn't back then. I wasn't thinking nothing of it, and sold my laptop with all the pictures on it. And
Yeah.
I think I sold it to Dodson.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should ask him if he still has it somewhere in a Foot Locker.
Yeah. I have like I did have too a disposable camera from back then that I found in a Foot Locker, but I don't think the film would still be good for that.
You never know, man.
You could try it.
Worth,
I mean,
I didn't know what it was until my mother of all pulled it out of a box I had up in the attic at her place. I guess when I came back from California, I threw a bunch of stuff up in their attic, and it was in there. One thing I remember on the flight over from March Air Force Base, the plane kept breaking down.
Yeah.
The plane we were on, it was like it kept breaking down, and we had to stop, make all these emergency landings, and we had to land in Ramstein or something like that, Germany. And I remember once we got over the Atlantic Ocean, Captain Weiler pulled out a bunch of liquor, and we were all passing a bottle of liquor the whole way around, like the thing taking shots out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that really happened, right? Like I wasn't imagining
That
that.
no, that wasn't imagined.
I
Yeah.
thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah. To my memory, there was at least one bottle of Jack Daniels. I don't remember what the other bottle was, but there is at least one bottle.
Yeah. Okay. I would say I thought so because like
Yeah.
everybody's like, no, they wouldn't have did that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure. Like,
Yeah.
and there was a bathroom on that plane, right? Like you had to like walk down.
One bathroom, yes.
Yeah, you had to like walk down like where am I? What was it that you had to walk down some like skinny railing or something to get to it? Why am I imagining that?
It was the top of the middle benches. So it was
okay
because it had 4 benches, right? 2 on each side facing each other. And everybody's legs were interlaced in the middle. And so if you wanted to get to the bathroom, you had to climb up on the middle bench and go across the top rail.
Okay, yeah, because I in my head I kept remembering that you had to like walk this really skinny rail to get to the bathroom. I was like, why would you have to do that in a plane? But that makes sense.
Yeah, well, there was no other way. You couldn't get in between everybody's legs because literally your knee was in somebody else's crotch. There was no.
And we flew the whole way over there on those. What were they? 131s or 141s or whatever.
Yeah, C-141 Starlifter was the name of the.
I would say we flew the whole way over there, right? But on the way back, we flew commercial, right? Commercial.
We did on a United Airlines.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Now I'm just like like I said, I keep thinking in my head like this. So I'm imagining this stuff, but I guess it was. Right.
Yeah. 20 years later, it feels like a dream or a nightmare.
It does. Like I can remember things so clearly, but that's the problem. Is like some of the things I can remember so clearly didn't happen. But then, like some of the things that I like. But the other things I did, so I don't know.
Nice.
So I remember. What's that? I'm good.
Oh, if you had one, I was gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I remember building a smoke pit too. That's all I was gonna say.
Do you? So I know Sledgehammer and Rainmaker. I knew just because of our people. We were able to do a lot more of the raids and stuff like that. Did you were you a part of any of the dismounted getting into the doing any door kicks?
Oh yeah, like I said, for the first couple for the first like 2 months or so, I think 2 months at least, I was a dismount. I think probably 3 months actually. I was a dismount. One of my biggest things that was going through my head, like as we were doing these raids, is like, don't get me wrong, hold no like fucking love or sympathy or anything like that. Like I was thinking, we're kicking these people's door in at 3:00 in the morning, like shoving guns in their kids' faces and like yelling at them and shit like that. And they're still just like offering us tea and asking us to sit down and talk to them and shit like that's pretty shitty. But I said for all, and the Arabic that we were told that they learned was not Iraqi Arabic. Like that's not. So most of the time, the shit that we were told to yell at them wasn't even like what they spoke.
No, they I was part of the group that went to the Arabic school, and what they were teaching us was Egyptian Arabic, which is a classical yeah, well, and what it is it's what you would be getting if you were watching like quote unquote mainstream movies. This would be.
Oh yeah, no, that's I mean. مرحبا شلونك شبارك اسمي جاستن انا من امريكا انا عمري 37 اتحدث كل من اللغات العربيه. I mean I'm pretty fluent with just my pronunciation is terrible, but
sure. Well, and that was the problem is that we got over there and the Iraqi dialect was just different enough that there was some confusion.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like it's just certain things like some of the things they say and like a lot of how are you? They're taught Cape Howlak or Cape Howlaka and shit, and there they say Shlonik or Shabar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so I kind of I remember thinking like we're yelling at these people and stuff. They don't even know what we're saying. But like I said, at the same time, it's not. get a gun jammed in your face, like pointed down. It's not hard to understand what we want.
Yeah. Do you did you ever take them up on the offer of tea or the little
I love the chai. I love the chai and the pita bread and stuff there.
yeah.
Um, and one of the other things that I had because we would get that Rocco, that interpreter Rocco, the dude that was real big, and he went out and got us food, and I got, what were they called? Sambosas. They were like a deep fried pocket of meat.
Yeah.
They were good as shit.
Yeah.
Any of the food that I had, I did eat over there was was good. Really good.
Oh yeah, as I said, even though they're butchering the goat in the middle of the street and like it's unsanitary as fuck, but
oh, you definitely took your life in your own hands. I mean, I don't know if eating the food was more dangerous or walking down the street. But
the thing that blew my mind, like the flies over there, like, and how they would just let them crawl all over their face and not like brush them off. That drove me nuts. That drove me nuts. That like they would just sit there and let these flies crawl in their face. Oh. Or like just I remember being at a, I think it was the police station one day, and there was a cow there. I remember because the whole thing, like this guy was like kneeled down, washing his face and drinking out of a mud puddle, and like 4 foot away was a cow pissing into that mud puddle.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like sitting there watching this, like, how do you not see this?
Yeah, the rural, especially the farmers and stuff you ran into had a very different way of life. Like, I mean,
yes, sir.
I've been to farms in America. I don't remember anybody washing their face in cow piss, but there was definitely, I mean, just far different hygiene standards, far different living standards. It was,
yes,
it was interesting.
that's and didn't we one day get like didn't they try to ambush us or something at the police station one day? They like called and told us that they were getting attacked or something, and once we got there, they like locked the gate behind us. Did that happen?
That I don't know. You would have to tell me. I wasn't with your platoon,
Yeah.
so maybe it did.
I want to say like something along those lines happened. That like they tried to ambush us at a police station out there. I can't remember what part of the town it was in, but like and then like once they ambushed us there, and like we fought those guys, we tried to like confront the police chief there, and he tried to act like he didn't know what was going on. Like,
I mean, to be fair, all the elements of what you're presenting works out. I mean,
Yeah, 100%
like,
plausible.
To be honest, I could be completely imagining all that. That I think that happened.
I mean, the battalion commander personally went and arrested the chief of police for giving over information to the insurgents, which, I mean, I say arrested like he had a badge, but they took him into custody and turned him over to the Army command. And I don't know what they did.
They took him to the Jurassic Park. Yeah, took him to the Jurassic Park here.
Yeah.
That was at Junction City, or was that somewhere that we just dropped them off there?
Well, there was well, at least we dropped off at 2 different places.
Yep.
Sometimes we went all the way up to El Asad, and then there was one at JC.
Yep.
It depended on how it was. It depended on whether or not your confidence of the level of
right, whether they were bad. Yeah.
Like the JC guys. That was just, we did a lot of those with like when we were doing like anybody between 16 and 60. Grab them. We're going to process them over. We're going to process them here. But if you had, there's a couple of times that we grabbed some guys that were on our list, and we would take them sometimes all the way up.
I don't know if you remember, but in the midsummer, we had the Marine human extraction team guys come and set up at the palace, and they put up that circus tent. That was their interrogation tent. And so we would bring some of the,
I do remember that.
Yeah. Some of the supposed high values would go into that circus tent, and they would just keep them awake for hours on hours on hours. I mean, it was like they were in there for 30, 40 hours.
I was just saying, I remember asking like what that was, and they like somebody's like, "Oh, they're in there. That's the het team in there."
Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
That's exactly right. You weren't allowed to go in there, but it looked like a circus
yeah,
tent.
I would say yeah, you couldn't go in. Yeah.
Huh.
Um, and correct me if I'm wrong. Did we like shoot the toilet guy or like the porta john guy or the clothes guy, the laundry guys or something? Did we shoot one of them guys?
We went through a couple, and yes, one of them we killed, and then another one disappeared, and who knows what happened to him. But
Okay, I was gonna say because in my mind, I don't remember if it was the toilet guy or something. Because I remember at one point somebody stopped sucking out the porta johns, but I also remember somebody stopped doing our laundry too. So
Oh, I didn't even know we had laundry service. So that was,
yeah, like yeah, for what like 2 or 3 weeks. At the beginning of Hurricane Point, there was like a little building right across from the palace that you could drop off your camis and shit there, and like two guys would wash them.
wow. You were among the elite because none of us, I didn't know that.
I
We
don't
were-
think I knew that either.
Yeah, we were.
I tried to use that goddamn washer like twice, and I gave up on it and then from there on out,
I would say it didn't last very long. I would say it might have been 2 weeks that we had those guys. There was it was like right by the shower, right by the showers. They had like a little building there that you could drop off your camis.
Huh.
Huh.
I mean, I know.
You. I just I don't remember that at all. Was it like same day service, or did
I want to say it was same day. I want to say it was same day service. Like you would drop them off in the morning and come back in the afternoon, and they were done. I think that's what it was.
Because I can't imagine.
I think they were just essentially
base.
No, I was to say I think they were essentially just using that washing machine behind the palace. I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing.
Oh well, that might be the other part of the story is that's why those washers were back there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing.
They were using the Iraqis, and then eventually they were not allowed on the base anymore, and so then you had to do your own.
I would say that might have been it too. Yeah, because I would say I know somebody was doing our laundry at the beginning. Because I was like, "Holy shit! I feel like the Air Force. Somebody's doing my laundry and shit." And then like that lasted like a week, and then they were like, "Yep, you got to do your own." Oh, that didn't last long.
I know there was a drop-off laundry over at Junction City because I had heard, and it was nobody in my platoon, but I had heard that at least one of the officers that was in our company was dropping off their laundry there. And then whenever they'd go back for chow, they would pick up their stuff. But
that's too funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just that last story just made me think about how almost mythical JC was to us. It was like Shangri-La.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
It had a PX, it had a good chow hall.
Yeah. You'd get a rumor started in the beginning of the day, like, "Oh, we're gonna get chow today," or JC or something like. And all of a sudden, it was like delineated amongst the people. "Oh, we're getting chow today. We're getting chow today." Everybody was like all looking forward to it. Yep. And their PX had Doritos and shit. Like, so it was a special event.
Well, kind of going through the summer and back to the end of it, do you remember kind of winding down the deployment? Kind of what that felt like for you? The feeling of maybe you'd get to go home?
I want to say, like by this time, I think at the end of the deployment there, I remember going to Junction City, and did we stay in Junction City for like a month or something like that at the end of the deployment?
Definitely wasn't a
Was
month.
it like 30 days? Okay, maybe it might not have been, but we stayed in these little cabins, right?
Yeah.
The CV built some
How long were we
for us.
there? Like that felt like I felt like we were there forever there.
I was there 3 days. I don't know how long you guys were there before me because everybody.
Oh no, I think I was there. I think I was there at least a week.
You were probably there maybe a week or two, but because every platoon went in different waves. But we stayed back to do the handoff with 2-5. And so
Okay.
again,
we were only there for a hot second
it was
before
not
we
long.
got. Yeah, but you guys
'Cause-
definitely like there was other elements that were there for longer though.
Yeah, at least a week. You were probably
Yeah,
there a
I was
week.
gonna say because I was gonna say yeah, I remember because I had utilized the internet cafe thing that they had there
Ah,
probably 3 or 4 times, so I had to be there longer than 3 days.
what were you doing at the
Um,
internet cafe?
just I had started talking to this girl from La Jolla in California that I was going back there to talk to her and stuff.
No, you should have sealed that deal, man. La Jolla is a rich town.
Yeah, she was Japanese and ended up going back to Japan. So like probably I think like 3 months after we had gotten back, she had left. So
Ah.
didn't last very long.
Yeah, well,
But Hersher is the one that like hooked me up with her.
that's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, her name was Hitomi.
So, what do you remember coming back to the States?
I remember. Well, I remember coming back. So Ema is one of my close friends and stuff, and he ended up getting in trouble, obviously, over there. And when I came back, I thought he was going to be in prison and shit, but he ended up being my roommate when we came back because Hurley was with the wounded. Hurley was my roommate, and then he got with that wounded or the.
Yep.
Was it not Wounded Warriors?
I don't
was
remember.
Whatever battalion, like the Wounded Battalion, whatever that was. And for some reason they wouldn't let us be roommates anymore. So I ended up being with Ema and stuff, and I remember like McLeod. Like like just that starts getting a little more fuzzy there. That like I can just remember, like I said, like little glances of people like McLeod. I remember getting off the bus when we came back there. I felt like shit because like everybody had family there waiting for them and stuff like that, and I had nobody. Yeah, but fucking and I sat. I want to say somebody else. I would say Hersher or somebody else. Like we sat there and just drank beer out of this keg that they had there for us until everybody else was gone. And then they gave us $200 Walmart gift cards or something like that. They gave, I think it was like $150, $200 Walmart gift cards when we first came back.
You know what?
Remember
I
that?
forgot about that.
I also forgot.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Holy shit.
I think, well, I remember that because we all went and bought liquor with it. We all went and bought liquor at Walmart with it. And then, like, for the next week, we were showing up at formation, like, half cocked all the time.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. So Walmart was not allowed to open a location in California for years and years and years. They literally opened that one that was just south of the base, just south of Oceanside, fucking right before we deployed. Literally right before we deployed. And so they were trying to do all kinds of shit for good PR moves. I think on if I remember correctly, on Thanksgiving, any Marine who would show up with an active duty ID, they would give a free turkey to.
Yeah. I would say turkey too. Yep, I remember that.
When we came back, every unit that came back, they were giving out. Yeah, I don't remember how much the gift card was. But that's crazy that you remember that. You're the first person.
Yeah, it was either $250. It was either $200 or $150. Because I remember I remember saying, what are we supposed to do with this? And somebody was like, well, buy like shaving cream, shaving gear, like stuff like that, like the utilities. And I was like, so you mean buy a bunch of liquor, right?
That's hilarious.
No, I forgot. I totally forgot. But you're right. It was a decent amount of money. I had completely forgotten about that, man.
Yeah.
And then because I remember that because Imai had just turned 21, like right when we got back there, and we went to that Molly Bloom's off of base. That was that Irish.
Hell yeah.
And it was me, Ackles, Hurley, and Imai, and I want to say Akers might have been there too, but Imai ended up getting so drunk that he pissed on the bar at Molly Bloom's, and then like I wasn't 21, so like these guys are all trashed, and I'm trying to get back on the base, and I'm driving, and like as soon as we get to the guard shack, I go to like go to pull up there, and Hurley's head comes poking out the passenger window, puking his guts out, and I'm like, oh great, I'm getting hit for this right now, and they waved us through, and we got back here, and we had a hump like a couple days later, or the next day or something like that. That night we came back, and Imai ended up waking up in the middle of the night and pissing in his wall locker all over his gear. And the next morning, or the next day, we had the hump, and we're like on the hump, and Captain Weiler's like, "Why does it smell like piss so bad?" And I just laughed my ass off because Imai's like, "Oh, I don't know, sir." Yeah, he's covered in piss. But he and then when Molly Blooms kicked him out, he tried to fight Ackles in the Jack in the Box parking lot because Molly Blooms kicked him out and Ackles is Irish. That was his justification for this.
Yep. Good reason.
And he might try to fight him, and the cops showed up, and like these two are like so drunk that both of them are swinging at each other and not even coming close to hitting each other. And the cop pulls up and he's like, "Did you have this under control?" I was like, "Yeah, don't do it. I can handle this." And he let us go, so I got them back on base and shit. And I remember fucking trying to take Hurley in there, and he ended up sleeping in his. That's why I say that's why I remember the whole Walmart gift card thing and stuff, because that all happened.
Yeah, that's crazy
during that time. So, yeah, that was gross.
No, I don't think there was anybody that wasn't.
Oh no,
pickling themselves.
I don't drink alcohol at all now or anything like that. So like now looking back on that, I'm like, damn man, what the hell was I doing?
It's crazy because everybody would drink all night, and then that was right at the same time that Red Bull and Monster Energy drink were sponsoring those two coolers in the PX, and there was 700 different flavors of all the new energy drinks were being so everybody was just chugging energy drinks all day long and then chugging booze all night long, and it was the most toxic combination ever. It was great.
Yeah, it was so bad. As I said, like most of us literally just existed on nicotine and energy drinks. It was bad.
Man, you talking about that made me think. Remember they put that individual. It was a vending machine in the. There was that weird building that was like down by the. It was in the
common building. Yeah, like common building.
Yeah. But they had a vending machine for personal pan pizzas.
Yes.
I do remember that. Yeah, like he heated that thing up like it was sort of like a microwave pizza, basically.
Yeah, man, I forgot about that, man. That thing would only last for a few days. They would restock it, and it would be like out. Yep. But I remember standing in there like at like 3 a.m, like trying to get drunkenly get another pizza.
What was that delivery guy from? What was it, Domino's?
No. He was from Little Caesars. You're talking about hot
Little
pizza.
Caesars. Okay, yeah,
hot pizza, motherfucker.
Hot pizza. Yep.
Hot pizza, motherfucker.
I was say
every day.
I was say, yep. I said I remember because somebody posted a picture of him online, and like they were like, what is this supposed to be? So I was like, dude, hot pizza, motherfucker, and he's like, that guy knows.
Yep.
I forgot about him, man. That's awesome.
Well, moving forward a little bit, just you end up staying in for 4 years total.
Yeah. No. I ended up getting out right after the deployment there.
I don't think I knew that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So you didn't go to Oki?
No.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not looking to revisit any memories, but it sounds like you were separated early. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, it was me, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but yeah. We ended up doing stupid shit and
Dude, that's crazy. I don't think I knew.
got the early ticket out.
I don't
I
think
did
I
not
knew
know
that.
that.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
Huh.
Yeah,
that's wild.
there were through all the companies. I think there were 35 of us.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Was this like
yeah.
January time frame or after? Because this would have been. I mean,
A little bit after January. A little bit after January, I think.
Okay.
I want to say April-ish, maybe
Okay.
June, somewhere
So
around there.
Right before the
Okay.
Oki deployment, then.
Yes, it was. Like right before the Oki deployment.
Okay. Wow.
And
That's some crazy shit, man.
Well, that's true
Okay.
too.
yeah, because
That's the same thing.
yeah,
they did before.
that's what I said. I mean, fucking. Do I wish I would have made better decisions? I do, but at the time, I was a stupid ass kid making dumb choices, and just.
It is only through God himself and miracles and the angels that I did not get. I mean, Nyla can tell the stories better than me because I don't remember them, but I should have had paperwork on me so many times.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a good discharge and everything. Just, but like, I mean, I wish that I would have made better choices and shit. Don't like I said, that was my biggest regret because like I said, you guys were my family. I didn't have anything before that, and so I was really upset like losing you guys and stuff because that was a big thing for me and definitely it affected me when I came out and came back and stuff because like I said, you guys were all I had for a long time and thankfully I live right by McLeod. Me and McLeod lived pretty close to each other and he was like my lifeline for a long time. But we got really close and stuff after we got out and yeah, he was my lifeline for a while. And yeah, when losing him was hard too. I love Jamie. It's unfortunate that we lost a lot of people after coming home. That's a sad thing, you know. The people that we lost in combat, and then we lose more people coming home.
You'd read my mind. That's exactly what I was going to say. We have lost more after than we lost in theater. And
that's a shame. That's a shame.
McLeod's another one of those. He looked like Elvis and had a huge personality. And,
I love Jamie. Jamie will always be one of my best friends. I love that guy to death because he was especially like after we got out, like he was the one person that I never had to never even had to think about whether like he would if I needed help or something like that. He was there no matter what time it was, no matter what time of night it was, anything. I'd call him and he was there. And like that's rare, you know, especially in the civilian world and shit. So and it really upset me because like he was like when we got out and stuff, we both got sober and stuff. Like we both quit everything and stuff. And so and then when he did pass, he called me like shortly before that and stuff, and I should have knew something was up because I could hear in his voice that he had relapsed. Obviously, like I mean, you know Jamie when he was drunk or anything, like his voice got that accent got a lot thicker and stuff. So I knew something was up. So I should have knew then and there, but you know, hindsight's 2020. But
no, I was living in DC at the time, and he was just in Alexandria, and so we were hanging out a little bit, like right before he passed.
Okay, well, yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah, no,
he was doing good. He was doing so well, and
yeah,
I don't know that well, like I said, he just out of nowhere he was doing so well, and then everything happened.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, I think that's a good place to round it out. To be honest, to round it out with a good memory of a good person, and I
will say, like, I mean, I love you guys. Like, too, I'll do anything for any of you guys. Don't get me
Thanks,
wrong.
man.
There are people went too far I didn't get along with, but I'd do anything for any of them. I love you guys. You guys were the best. You guys were the best thing that ever happened in my life, aside from my son. You guys were the best highlight of my life, man. And as bad as Iraq was and stuff, that was probably one of the highlights of my life too, because being surrounded by you guys. I said, people ask me if I would do it again. I said if I could go back with the same people, I would.
Oh, yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I would
Yeah.
do it in a heartbeat. No questions asked.
Yeah.
And I mean, because
I feel you.
I credit you know, me coming home and stuff to like the people I was around and like the leadership we had and stuff. You know, like I don't begrudge the leadership anything for my stupid choices or anything. Like we had amazing leadership and shit, like with you know Captain Weiler. What is he now? It's General Weiler now.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
I was good. I thought so. I thought I'd heard that.
I
That's
believe
incredible.
I believe
stuff.
he got a second star. I think he's Major
That,
General
that's
Weiler.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like as I said, like yeah, you know, and he definitely deserves it. But like we lucked out with incredible leadership. I mean, you know, like
100%.
General Kennedy, and all that. Yeah, from our officers down to our NCOs. Like I mean, you know, like you guys and stuff were. If it wasn't for the small unit leadership being as good as it was, you know, we would have got chewed alive. We would have got eaten alive. We were able to do what we were able to do with one battalion. What it took, what 4 after we left to hold Ramadi.
Exactly.
We were able to do that
Yeah.
because of the solid guys we had and the solid leadership we had and shit. And our NCOs wouldn't do like they weren't trying to do or trying to make us do something that they wouldn't do. You know, they weren't expecting you to do something that they weren't willing to do themselves and shit. And that went a long way.
Yeah.
I definitely remember I had full confidence in the leadership above me. Like there was no times where I was like, man, maybe that doesn't sound like a good idea. I always thought, you know, no, like even when I was like, yeah, whoa, that sounds pretty intense. I still had faith it would work out.
Nice.
And then, like I said, I fully believe that was because of you guys and stuff. But, I mean, we had solid leadership and shit. And I tell my son all the time about like, believe me, my son knows all of you guys like by name and everything because I tell stories all the time about everything and what an influence you guys had on me and stuff. So it definitely meant a lot.
Well, it's cool, man. Well, thanks for making time to talk to us.
If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe for future episodes on your favorite podcast service.